minutes to play. O'Hay gets back in the action.
9-second differential. Purcell drives, she's got it! And Brittany Sykes now, long range, gets the lucky roll!
Round 15 continues in Adelaide with a crucial top 4 clash. The Adelaide Lightning host the ladder-leading UC Capitals at the Lights Community and Sports Centre. The Lightning will look to end a 3-game losing streak, whilst the Capitals look to protect their position at first on the table. Liam Ellison here alongside Bendigo Spirit star Annalie Maley, who's back in the commentary chair tonight. Annalie, welcome. Looks like we've got a huge game in store this evening.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm super excited for this one. This is a really interesting matchup. I'm really looking forward to see Britt Sykes and Steph Talbot kind of match up on each other, and both teams play a real run and gun style. I mean, you look at the way that Canberra plays, their defense turns into offense, and it's really fun to watch. And then Adelaide just have the capability to stack points on the board at any time. So I'm really excited for this one.
First versus fourth on the WNBL table, with both teams needing to win with finals ramifications at stake. The Lightning have lost 3 in a row against 2 other top 4 teams in Perth and Melbourne. Can they reverse their fortunes and knock off the ladder leaders here tonight?
Look, I think it can go one of 2 ways. I think that if they, they went back to the drawing board, they looked at where they've gone wrong in the last couple games. I mean, the team definitely has the capability to really push Canberra. I mean, like I said before, they're very evenly matched, and I think that if Adelaide comes out and plays the style that they play and don't get forced into, the high turnover play that Cap seem to force their opponents into, that's the type of game where they're going to get a win.
Despite their impressive road record, the Lightning have a losing record at home this season. They're 3-4 at the Lights Community and Sports Centre. We see their starters on the screen right now, and it's a full-strength Adelaide lineup today. They've come off 2 20-plus point losses, first at the hands of the Perth Lynx before falling 49-72 on their home floor against the Melbourne Boomers. What do they have to do, do you think, tonight to come up and reverse those results right there?
Look, I think they need to continue to use their post play. I mean, they have the tallest player in the league in Kylie Shook, and I think that if they pump the ball inside to her and play inside out, I think they've got a really good chance. They are taller than the Caps across the board, and they've got more size, and if they can capitalise on those mismatches, God, I really think that they can push it in certain ways that they haven't in the last couple of games.
Certainly. Let's have a look now at the UC Capitals starting lineup. They're 5-1 on the road this season. They finished their season with 2 huge games, the first of which tonight, and they back it up with a game against the Melbourne Boomers on Saturday. A win today would make it pretty difficult, though, to dethrone Canberra from first, do you think? Yeah,
and look, they've been playing so well. The type of game that they play, it's just been really consistent. Even from their first game of the season, they haven't really wavered much. Coach Paul Goris has done an amazing job in the way he structures his team, and even the power coming off the bench. I mean, there's not much you can do about that. They've just been playing so well, and I think that if they continue this role, they're hot picks to take the cup home, I think.
Certainly, they rolled the Perth Lynx by 16 points at the Bendat Basketball Centre in their last outing. Registered 96 points as a team, if you don't mind, behind Britt Sykes' 32 points and 9 dimes. And Jade Melbourne, speaking of that bench unit, Annalie, 20 points off the pine as well. Pretty handy to have a player of her quality off the bench.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not just Jade Melbourne. You look at some of the other star power they have coming off the bench in Abby Cabillo, in Talia Tupea. Before Michaela Roof got injured, there's just so many players and so many moving pieces, and you can see in the way that they're playing with such confidence in every minute that they're on the floor. They just look like they're having fun out there.
Certainly do. They've been turning defence into offence, like you said in the pre-game, Annalie. They've got 3 players inside the top 6 for steals per game. Brittany Sykes leading the way with 2.6 a night. She's been unbelievable, really, as an import in this league.
Yeah, look, we talk about her ability to play defense and even her ability to score, but I think what flies under the radar for me is her passing ability and how much offense actually flows through Brittany Sykes. The way that she gets her hands on things and then is able to push the ball and find the running bigs of Kelsey Griffin, Alex Bunton, Alicia Froling, and then the way that they all stream down the floor on the back of those steals, it's just super impressive. And I think we need to recognize her ability to pass the ball and the way that gets Canberra's offense flowing.
Alicia Froling into the starting lineup tonight. Alex Bunton will come off the bench for the Capitals. Tips, Adelaide?
Look, I'm a sucker for the underdog, so I'm going to go with Adelaide for this one.
I'm going to go to the Capitals here. We've got Sykes contesting the tip by the looks, interestingly enough.
Fair enough. I mean, she's got some hops, and look at that come away.
So the Caps come up with first possession. Sykes will start us off.
Who thought Sykes was going to win that one?
Unbelievable. She's doing it all here. Sykes, Talbot defending her, over to Smart. First three is good.
Opening three for Britt Smart. That's what she does. You can't leave her that open. She's been feeling it all year, shooting at a great percentage. So you see Adelaide pushing the issue down the other way. Steph Talbot for the cut. Great finish there by Steph Talbot. Brilliant pass from Abby Warang in the corner.
Certainly has been shooting at a great clip. Brittany Smart, 38% from three, having another great year, 36-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, she's not playing like a 36-year-old. As you see, Britt Sykes there, just using her pure strength to finish at the basket, cutting through three Adelaide defenders.
Nice start for the Capitals. Smith hands it over to Talbot. Kylie Shook's there for the screen. Here's Williams. Now she'll stop and fire. That one falls.
She's been shooting the ball well too. That's another one for Adelaide that's really found their form in the last couple games. You see here Kelsey Griffin going for handoff there with Britt Smart.
Smart blocked by Smith.
Furiously rejected there by Smith.
Here's Williams. Now the Lightning the other way.
It's a mismatch inside here. Smith to Shook. Shook, easy finish over the top of Kelsey Griffin. That was great play between the two big men there. 4 and 5 working seamlessly together.
Shook's been a good inclusion to this Adelaide team.
The underdog of the Adelaide team, I think. She needs some more appreciation.
Here's Wilson from the elbow. Just off that time. Here's Werung.
Good push there from Abby Werung. Oh, see, that's a really good push from the Adelaide team there. You know, you had Kylie Shook in the right position, a little overcooked on the pass, but you need Abby Werung to push the ball like that. Creates easy offense. I think that'll come off next time.
So Wilson back out there today for the Capitals after missing the game against Perth. Here's Sykes. Smart again, same spot, not that time. Froling though with a second chance. Backs it out to Wilson. She looks to make her move on. Werung, stepping through. Kelly Wilson's float is good.
That's a veteran move from Kelly Wilson. Not one fake, not two, but three. Then with the step through, just waiting to see what the defense gave her. Didn't look rushed at any point in time with the shot clock winding down.
Ties it back up. Early days here in Adelaide. Smart gets a hand in. Wilson's there to clean it up.
It's a good steal there by Kelly Wilson. Just had those active hands, as you see. Sykes here holding the ball for a screen from Kelsey Griffin.
Can they turn defense into offense once again, the Capitals? Griffin fakes, goes baseline, draws contact.
It's a good take there by Kelsey Griffin. I think that Alana Smith, she needs to be challenged. As she loves a block, and she's a great defender, but has been a little bit foul prone. So they do need to take the ball at her.
So Griffin at the line. Having another great year for her UC Capitals. 16 points, 8.5 boards a game.
She's in great form, Kelsey Griffin. Really great form. She's just that solid player for the Caps that you know what you're going to get from her every game.
Ever reliable, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Williams hesitates. The Lightning swing it around the perimeter. Now Froling and Shook. And Shook will go to the charity stripe.
That's the inside matchup I was talking about. Kylie Shook has a lot of height on her defender there in Frolling. And you see she just rises up, draws the foul. I think Adelaide really need to look at pumping the ball inside to her. She's always poised with her finishes and has the ability to really go up against anyone.
Capital's gone with that slightly smaller starting lineup as well today, looking to take advantage via Kylie Shook.
Yeah, I definitely think they really do need to go inside there. And then on the other end of it, as Canberra is so good at pushing the ball and getting steals, Steph Talbot comes soaring in to get the steal there.
Sykes did her best. They've thrown it over her head. Brittany Smart. Williams will corral it.
Right on cue, we had so many deflections in the one play as Alana Smith takes it aggressively to the basket. Great finish over Kelly Wilson there. Just rose up over the smaller defender. So we have Sykes here on Talbot.
Now Sykes assessing her options. She's got to go. Not that time. Frolling crashing in, but Shook pulls it down.
See Adelaide streaming down the court. Ortler kicks it out to Smith. On the money for Smith. She's got a beautiful shot, Alana Smith.
Lightning are getting it done from the floor so far in this one. 5 of 6 from the field.
Britt Sykes. Corner 3. Just missed.
Griffin's off that time. So the 4-point lead is here. Williams has mishandled it. Just fell her way. So easy 2 in the end for Kiana Williams.
That was a 4-on-1 there. Somehow she managed to break through with the score. Even see how active all of Canberra's hands were there. Didn't pay off on that one, but it's just an example of how good they can really be. Offensive foul here from Kelsey Griffin. Just shuffled her feet a little bit.
Going the other way, and the Lightning, in fact, a perfect start shooting from the field. Substitutions for both teams.
Coming in at Werong's back in, and I think we have Alex Bunton and Jade Melbourne checking in for the Caps.
So here's Werong. Out to Shook, thought about the 3. Drives on Bunton, and again, they'll head to the 3-throw line, the Lightning.
Great take there. Kylie Shook has the ability to take her player off the 3. We've seen it in the last couple games. She hasn't been settling for that outside shot or just inside post up. She's really been attacking her defenders. And when she gets going, she picks up a bit of speed going downhill. That's hard to stop.
First one's good for Shook. Shooting 84% from the line on the season.
You see Adelaide here is in a press to try and get Canberra out of their flow of things.
Bunton, baseline J, little off.
Adelaide are on the run. They look very aggressive here in this first couple minutes.
Are they ever? Can't put a foot wrong at the moment. Talbot looks to continue that and does. So timeout on the floor, the Lightning out to a quick 11-point lead. Yet to miss a field goal.
Yeah, look, the Lightning really forced the Caps into making that timeout. They've been playing with such tenacity, hands everywhere. I really love the press that they've thrown into it because they haven't missed many field goals. They can get into that press and then make life difficult for the guards of the UC Caps. I think if you're Paul Goris here, you'd be wanting your team to get a here and get her low underneath the basket and get some easy points on the board. I think that's a good move for Caps, just to get some of their players going a little bit.
So here we go, Wilson to inbound.
That face guard press from Alana Smith, not even allowing the guards to catch the ball. The length of Alana Smith at the top of that makes life quite difficult.
Here's Sykes. Wilson and Ortler. 20 points in a hurry for this Adelaide Lightning team. Wants the response here from Canberra. Here is Kelsey Griffin. Count it.
Just as the coach drew up. You got to love that, as Paul Goris would be very happy that he just drew out that play. They ran it perfectly. Got Kelsey Griffin on a downhill run. Unfortunately, that takes Alana Smith to her second personal foul. So going at their defenders, but you know, you've got to be a happy coach when they run it to a tee off a timeout.
Certainly. Great analysis from Annalie Maley tonight. Joining us in the commentary box, the Bendigo Spirit star. As Griffin missing on that free throw.
Getting her own rebound. Talbot managed to get her hands to that one, but it stays with Canberra here. They've got 11 seconds on the shot clock, so be looking to get a shot up pretty quick.
Wilson into Sykes. Another opportunity for the Capitals. Big screen from Bunton. Backs it out to Griffin. Single digits on the shot clock. She's got to go. Good defense from Adelaide.
Good defense there by Chelsea Brook. Taylor Ortler running. None other than Steph Talbot streaming down the lane for a layup. Look at how every player from Adelaide Lightning was streaming down the court there. That was a great push by Taylor Ortler to get the ball and go. A great run by Chelsea Brook that actually got Steph Talbot open.
And the perfect start for Adelaide offensively continues. Another field goal drop. 7 dimes already as a team. Sykes steps it out for 3. Bunton's there on the O-glass.
Sykes here, screen from Bunton. Great pass into Bunton. She can't finish on the first or the second, gets her own rebound. Stripped away by Chelsea Brook and then fouled by Bunton. Look, that was a great second and third effort there by Bunton. Just couldn't manage to get the finishes, but Chelsea Brook with the cheeky hands there just took it away from her. And then out of frustration, I think, got a foul there by Bunton.
So headed the other way, Werung.
Guarded heavily by Jade Melbourne. She's a great up-the-floor defender.
Giving her no space at all. Here's Talbot. Contested too by Sykes. Good defense.
The push here, Sykes v Talbot. Pull up at the elbow, and that's good for Sykes.
Continues her offensive surge in the second half of the season. Brittany Sykes now averaging 17.5 a game.
And that's what she does. Pulls down a defensive board, go coast to coast. Her pull-up game has been pretty consistent. So you've got a rebound here from Talia.
So to pay her on the defensive boards, and here's Sykes again. Back to a 9-point ball game.
Great pass there. Jade Melbourne in the corner. She can't connect, but rebound by Shook. Ortler pushing the issue again.
Canberra get back in defense.
They pull it out here. You got Werung calling for an offense.
So here's Brook. And just ripped it out of her hands. Kelly Wilson, excuse me.
That's what she does. She's got such active hands. Pushes it down the other end. You have a mismatch inside there.
Will she go to it? Opts it out to Tapea. So Tapea gets her layup. On the O-glass is Bunton. And taps out the way of Talbot. So Werung the other way. Chelsea Brook into Talbot.
Inside with the mismatch. Just can't convert on that one. Great defense there by Jade Melbourne. Just stand her ground against the taller player there in Steph Talbot. As a foul was called by Abby Werung. On Abby Werung.
There's that call again. And a couple of substitutions now for the Lightning. Talbot will take a break. Kelly Wilson as well. So here's Sykes, first minutes of the evening for Marina Whittle.
Sykes pulls up. That one was a little bit off. You see Ella Badish also checked in for her first minutes of the game. It's her birthday today. Shout out Ella. Turns the big 2-3. It's your Jordan year.
Happy birthday, Ella. Here's Whittle. Brooke.
See Canberra here in his own.
Williams hands it back to Whittle. So not a lot happening for the Lightning at the moment. Cabillo right up in Williams's grill, but she finds her way through, just rattles out.
Touched last by Tupea, so Adelaide get the ball back. Although they were pressured a lot, Williams got a good shot off there, just rimmed out.
So Williams to inbound, fresh 14, Whittle wide open in the corner, makes him pay.
First shot of the game by Marina Whittle.
Back out to 12 for the Lightning. Perfect start, trying to erase that 3-game streak as Sykes marches in for 2.
Just streaming towards the wing there. So athletic, so crafty, just getting it done. Down the other end, Brooke, Badish, into Whittle.
And Whittle's fouled, that'll be on Melbourne.
That's a mismatch inside there. Marina Whittle guarded by Jade Melbourne. Good recognition of that by Ella Badish. Throw it inside. Had to send a double team, and there's a foul there.
So Whittle playing 17 minutes tonight for this Adelaide team. 5 points, 4 boards.
She converts that one.
And splits a pair. That one rattles out. So less than a minute to go here in the first. Cabillo from the wing, got some space.
Bunton for another offensive rebound. Just turns it over there, but too much sauce on the pass out to Melbourne.
So Adelaide, 9 of 13 shooting from the field in this first quarter. Chance to extend that lead going into the quarter-time break. Werung, nice pass inside to Whittle, just mishandles it.
Again, the same play from the last time round. Mismatch with Whittle inside. He's got Cabillo here, running the captain on the court as the point guard.
Tupea hands it over to Melbourne. Now Tupea. Some of their bench unit out there, the Capitals. Backs it out to Cabillo. Now she makes her move baseline. Finish just off. So 6 seconds to work with for Adelaide. Williams has got to go.
Oh, steal by Brittany Sykes.
So that'll do it. The Adelaide Lightning, great opening quarter from them. They lead 26 to the UC Capitals 15. Hello and welcome back to the Lights Community and Sports Centre. It's the Lightning leading this one by 11 points. Liam Ellison here alongside Annalie Maley. And if you like what you've seen tonight, don't forget about Aussie Hoops serving as an introduction to the great game of basketball to over 100,000 kids every year. To find where your kids can start a lifetime enjoyment of the game, visit the Aussie Hoops locator, which can be found at aussiehoops.basketball/find a program. Registrations for Term 2 programs are open now. And it's been a fun first quarter of basketball, Adelaide.
Yeah, look, I think, like I said at the start of the game, we needed Adelaide to come out with kind of a tenacity and a drive and a difference from the way they've been playing in the last couple of games, and they have delivered. They have had their hands on everything. They've been pressing the ball. They've been making life difficult for the guards, and they've been punching the ball inside. So I think they've been giving everything that we asked for as the second quarter goes underway.
Can they continue it here? Kiana Williams to start things off. Whittle cutting inside on Melbourne. Here's Brooke. Hand off to Talbot. Another lively opening for her. Badish inside to Whittle. She's got that mismatch. And waved off.
Well, that was an unlucky call there. I thought she was in the no charge circle. As you see there, it's a controversial call, I think, from the referee, but we support them. Unwaveringly so.
Certainly for Canberra ball, regardless. Maybe a little stiff there. Whittle and Sykes.
See Britt Sykes playing point guard here.
Tapaya.
Playing their horns play.
Four-guard lineup out there for the Capitals at the moment.
I think that's an adjustment so they can push the ball with Sykes there. Bunton has to go up. Jade Melbourne from the corner.
Not that time, so Whittle will let it run out of bounds. So change of tack, do you think, from Paul Goris and the Capitals?
Yeah, maybe to get a little bit more energy out there, and so they can run the ball a little bit. And like I said before, so Canberra can get their hands into things, so Adelaide can't get set up into that press. As you see, Kelly Wilson doing exactly that.
On cue.
That is exactly what we need from the Capitals here. The veteran just getting it done. That's the 1%ers there.
Something out of nothing for Canberra. 14 seconds to work with. Here's Griffin at the free-throw line. Backs it out to Sykes. Griffin cutting to the hoop. Sees two Lightning defenders. Wilson running out of real estate. No good.
Look at the way that Adelaide is running. Streaming down the floor. An offensive transition. Great pass. Oh! Blocking it out of the stadium just when you thought that was going to be an easy layup. Kelsey Griffin gets up and says, absolutely not.
Big defensive play from Griffin.
Adelaide will get it back here with 16 seconds left on the shot clock.
So Williams. Back out to Shook. Talbot.
Good back cut there. Kiana Williams comes and gets it, but no.
Turnover, so Wilson's off to the races. Williams on her. And been assessed with the personal.
Just as we asked for it, there you have Kelly Wilson getting her hands in things, making life difficult there for Adelaide, creating offense out of defense, 2 plays in a row, and that is what Paul Goris would be asking of his captain.
So Wilson to the line.
As she converts.
Two steals in quick succession for Kelly Wilson as she takes care of business.
As you see here, Canberra getting up into a zone.
Pushing it ahead, the Lightning. Now Talbot from the elbow. That one's good.
With so much class, Steph Talbot doing Steph Talbot things.
Brittany Smart gets set to check in for the Capitals. Hand off to Tapaya. Williams looks hurt. That one rattles home for Canberra.
Williams was expecting a call there. Just stopped playing for a second, ended up with a score from Canberra. Whittle to Brooke, across to Talbot. So you see Canberra in this zone here. Up high to Shook, just backing down the smaller player, doing exactly what she is supposed to do, making the smaller players feel like they are that much smaller.
Taking advantage. Here's Sykes.
good no call by the ref.
Wilson, oh, what a pass, and Griffin count the bucket.
That was brilliant. What court vision there from Kelly Wilson. And then Kelsey Griffin with the classy finish, fouled in the air, but making it look like it was easy. And that is a tough shot, being fouled mid-air, having to adjust the way your hands are on the ball and able to finish that off anyway. All class by Kelsey Griffin.
And converts on the and one play.
You see Canberra up here in that press again, trying to make something happen.
Talbot mishandles, so diving in there as Griffin will have a jump ball.
That came from the hands of Kelly Wilson. If you rewind that play back, that's from her hands getting in there that resulted in that jump ball that Kelsey Griffin ended up diving on. God, it's a tongue twister going Kelly Wilson, Kelsey Griffin.
It really is.
I'm going to start saying Kelly Griffin.
Yeah.
You can see, look how much they wanted it. Just all swarmed on the ball, but that came from the hands of Kelsey Wilson. Kelsey, I did it again.
Yeah.
Kelly Wilson.
Active hands so far this quarter for Wilson. Now she looks to go on the offensive end. Lay in just off, rolling on the O-glass. Talbot cleans it up. Pushing the pace ahead, hands it off, and the Lightning another bucket.
Steph Talbot, so impressive when she's out in transition like that. She leads the league in assists for a reason. That right there is exactly why.
Wilson wide open from the top.
Alicia Froling, another offensive rebound. Invaluable those ones are.
Number 6 already offensively for the Capitals is Wilson. Sorry, Griffin, excuse me, on Talbot. Shook gets in there.
Somehow Brooke ends up with the ball, and you got Talbot pushing it down the floor again. And a look to go outside, inside to Shook. She looks to go to work. Dumped into Whittle. Last touch by Canberra.
That's what stays with Adelaide. 10-point leaders here. It's been all hustle in this game so far. High quality finals like basketball. Whittle and Smart. Now Shook to assess her options. Cross court to Werung. Now she makes her move, running out of time. Off the window, no good. Shook with a second opportunity.
It's a great rebound there by Shook. Into Whittle. She's swarmed by Griffin. Whittle keeps a hold of it. It'll be Adelaide ball.
So again, bodies hitting the deck.
Substitutions come back in for Adelaide. You have Smith and Ortloop returning to the floor. Now, Smith has 2 personal fouls, so she's going to have to be careful in the second quarter, but so invaluable to Adelaide to have Smith out there. As the long defender that she is, ability to contest shots and an offensive weapon.
Werung inbounds to Talbot.
Britt Sykes making things difficult. Shot clock winding down. Shook for 3. Just short. You have Kelly Wilson pushing it down the other way.
Cleans it up for Canberra. Trying to bring it back to a single-digit ball game. Griffin hands off to Sykes. Now Sykes, what a dish inside to Griffin.
Her court vision is just unreal. Her ability to draw the eyes of other players, because she is so dangerous offensively. The ball's in her hands, so naturally, as a defender of another player, you're going to sink off. And her ability to pass and see the way that people are sinking off as soon as she has the ball in her hands, especially once she puts it to the floor. You see here, she's just kind of lulling the defender to sleep. People are turning their heads, looking at her. Then she finds Kelsey Griffin here. Beautiful dish. Great cut by Kelsey Griffin. That is what Paul Goris wants to see more of.
She's been unbelievable again today. Brittany Sykes up to 6 points, 2 assists, and Kelsey Griffin leading the way in the scoring column with 7. Talbot as well, 9 points, 3 dimes.
Talbot's been unreal for Adelaide. She's controlled the pace of the game for them. You know, Adelaide plays so well when they get the ball and they push, and she's had a few where she just takes it off the rim as a defensive rebound, pushes it down the floor, and then finds an open runner. And the rest of her team are like, all right, that's what we're doing. And they just get on her back and they run with her. It's if they can keep this momentum for the rest of the game, they're going to make it pretty difficult for the Caps.
Game on here, just about underway, halfway through the second.
So you see each team here sporting a different uniform. I think Adelaide are wearing their Pride uniform, and Caps in those wonderful Indigenous jerseys that they've committed to wearing for the rest of the season.
Fantastic initiative. Of course, the Boomers as well, set to wear their Indigenous round jersey.
I'm excited to see what that one looks like. I do love the colour purple.
Yes, yeah, there's been so many great designs throughout Indigenous round.
Yeah.
Talbot.
High-low action here from Adelaide. Ortlup.
Picks it off. Brittany Smart. Adelaide do well to get back.
Active hands from Smart here. She attacks. Wilson assesses. Griffin screen. Wilson attacking. Floater just off the mark. As Adelaide push the ball.
Talbot now the other way. Smith posting up. Inside on Froling. Now she's rewarded. Froling did well. Another opportunity for the Lightning. Way of Talbot. Smith's on the O-glass.
That was a great effort there from Smith. And you saw the battle inside from Smith and Froling the play before. Smith just never stopped fighting. And she was in a great position there for the offensive rebound. Held onto it, stayed strong. It was a great succession of play there by Elena Smith. So strong, so athletic.
So Walton takes a break for the Lightning. Here's Alana Smith. Talbot now posting up on Wilson. Mismatch.
Double.
Smart comes the double. Kicks it back out to Werong for three. Not that time. Shanice Swain out there for the first time this evening for the Capitals. Now she can fire from the corner. Swain gets it to rain.
You gotta love that. Just checked in, got a rebound, and then a corner three. That's exactly what you've been wanting to see from the youngster.
Brings it back to a two-possession ball game. Kicks it inside to Shook, and she's fouled.
It's another great find there from Talbot, just to see the cutting Shook at the bottom of the zone. Canberra here have stuck themselves in a zone here, so the back line of that zone is actually really open for the opposite big to cut in front of, and Shook just using her smarts to slide right in front of her defender.
Sam Simon's out there as well for the first time. Griffin, she'll be assessed with a personal.
The impact that Alana Smith has had just being on the floor. She's drawn a few fouls, gotten a few good offensive rebounds, established great position inside, and has forced Canberra to change the way that they were playing defense. It's just so valuable to have her on the court.
So second personal of the game on Griffin.
Smith sinks the first one. And the second. So you see Adelaide straight back into that press with Smith at the front. Those are some long hands to pass over.
Are they ever? Wilson's picked up her dribble over to Smart.
Smart finds Griffin. Griffin looking at Swain. Screen there, and Swain just dribbled that one off her leg. Good D there from Sam Simons.
So a few youngsters for both teams getting some burn here. Williams. Now Talbot inside to Shook once again. Down low. Front position is Smith, but last touch by Smith.
So the ball movement there was really good, but the defensive rotation on that zone was just better there for the Caps. It's Kelsey Wilson here with the ball to Griffin. Attacking the basket. Oh, just dribbles that one off her foot. It was a good attack though. You see Kelsey Griffin staying aggressive, trying to penetrate through the defensive pressure of Adelaide. As Kiana Williams brings the ball back down the floor.
Lightning still nursing that 7-point lead. Smith, early shot clock, three falls.
And that is exactly what they needed. It seemed like the momentum was a little bit with the Caps there. Alana Smith just drains that one. Swain coming off the screen from Griffin. going in hard, finding Froling. She backs it out. Back out to Swain. Hit one there from just a play before. Oh,
what a dish from Brittany Smart.
offensive rebound from Smart, and then a smarter pass there to Shanice Swain, who just never gave up on the play. Cut right into an easy layup off a great smart pass from Smart.
Great game of basketball so far here at the Lights Community and Sports Centre. Shanice Swain getting some burn off the bench, and the Lightning remain in control at the moment. But you feel like the Capitals are coming.
I think so. I think so. The last couple of plays, I feel like they've had a little bit of momentum. They've just, you know, their subs in have hit some big shots. You know, you see Swain hitting that three and then having the confidence to shoot it again from the same spot. Hustle plays from Britt Smart there, and Alicia Froling playing some great defense down the other end. She's been really great in the last couple of possessions, keeping the ball out of Smith's hands and Shook's hands on that last play. So, you know, if Caps can get another couple scores and bring it back down to a smaller lead before half-time, that's exactly what they'd be looking to do heading into the half.
Of course, you played under Chris Lucas for half a season as well. Adelaide, talk to me about what he's like to play under as a player.
He was one of my favourite coaches to play under. He helped me fall back in love with the game back in the day. That was my first season after taking a little bit of time off. And his ability to give his players confidence, and I love the way that he runs his teams. His structure is backed by a lot of offensive flow from the transition game, and that's something that I kind of thrive off. So I really enjoyed playing underneath Chris Lucas.
Here we go, his team in the lead by 8 points. Williams. Smart right there with her. Sam Simons remains out there. Swain trying to deny Brooke. Now Simons in the corner. Inside to Smith, kicking it round. Simons gets the floater up, a little short. And last touch, Alicia Froling.
With Canberra in that zone, it leaves shooters like Sam Simons on the wings there. And I thought Swain did a really good job there running Sam Simons off the line. She's a textbook three-point shooter, so that's what you want to do in those situations. Oh, great pass in. And then Kiana Williams, all class, finishing off 1 foot fadeaway jumper, making it look easy.
Nice play from the Lightning. Here's Wilson now for Canberra. Smart. Kicking it round to Swain. And Smart has run into Alana Smith. So turnover, Sam Simons the other way.
Here come Adelaide. Great pass. Oh, just off the hands of Talbot. It's nice to see Sam Simons getting in on the action of pushing the ball. Just down the other end, I think Canberra just need to get through a set.
10th turnover of the game for Adelaide. Talia Tapea back out there. Kelly Wilson.
Taking on the bigger defender. Dropping it in to Froling. Out to Tapea, who attacks the rim again. Back out to Smart. End of shot clock. Oh, whack. There goes Britt Smart, and that is what she does. She was never going to drive it inside there. It was always going to be a three, showing us Britt Smart doing Britt Smart things.
Drilling the triple on that occasion. Second of the game for her. Here's Simons. Whips it back over to Talbot. Smith with a screen. Williams got Wilson jumping into Smith. Just out of her reach, and good defense from the Capitals.
Swain pushing the ball down the other end. Cap streaming down to Paya. Wilson. Screen by Froling. Oh,
good
great
defense
hands.
from Smith.
Great hands. She runs down the other end. Here come Adelaide.
Williams picks up her dribble, so Froling doing her best to deter her. Here's Talbot. Chance for a deep breath if you're Adelaide. Smith with a big screen on Smart. Talbot. And going to the charity stripe. Froling can't believe it.
Strong take there by Talbot. There's a mismatch on the move. I just don't think Froling had her feet set yet. So you see here, Lana Smith just not making anything easy. Talbot to the line.
Just under a minute to go here in the first half. Another great game for Steph Talbot. Look at that, 5 dimes already on the board.
Triple-double watch, I think.
First one a little strong.
I'm calling that now. That's my triple-double watch for the game.
Keep an eye on it. Second half coming up very soon. Talbot makes on the second, so back to an 8-point ball game. Sam Simons will take a break. Into Wilson. Looking to push the issue. Tapia over to Swain. She'll fire. Second triple for the youngster.
Not lacking confidence. She's got a brilliant stroke.
Taking her opportunities here in the second quarter for Canberra. Back to a 5-point game.
Why not with talent like that? Whittle here with the ball. Trying to push it into Talbot. Talbot, screen by Smith. Into Smith from Talbot. Back out, open 3. Talbot makes them count. It's another 3 from Steph Talbot.
So the 5th triple of the ball game for Adelaide.
It was great ball movement there by Adelaide. Inside, outside, multiple times, just to find Steph Talbot wide open for the 3. Got Kelly Wilson here, coming off a screen from Froling. Attacking the ball.
Gets it over her head, and Smart's going to have to chuck it up. So that will do it. The Adelaide Lightning remain in the lead. 43-35, they lead the UC Capitals. Well, the Capitals won that quarter by 6 points. Adelaide, a little bit more their way, do you think?
Yeah, we've seen a couple of momentum shifts in this last period. It seems in quarter 1, it was all Adelaide, and this quarter, it was some Adelaide, some Canberra, but they've managed to bring it back to a 5-point deficit just before half-time. And that's kind of what they'd be hoping for. A bit more than 5 points, sorry, 8-point deficit. Still single digits, and I think that's exactly what Coach Paul Goris would be looking for heading into the half.
Well, 8 points for the youngster, Shanice Swain, in just 4.5 minutes of action. 2 triples for her. Pretty exciting stuff for the youngster.
Yeah, I mean, she's really taking this opportunity as it comes to her. I mean, she's super talented. Like, she just looks completely relaxed, completely within her own right. I mean, she's a very exciting junior player, and it's good to see her take that opportunity with 2 hands and just kind of run with it.
We spoke pre-game about turning defense into offense if you're Canberra. Well, they've done it again in small patches, especially in the second. 5 steals as a team, 2 for Kelly Wilson as well, who I thought was really active. Yeah,
I think so too. I think in that second quarter, Kelly Wilson, although she only has 2 steals on the stat sheet, I'm going to say she has at least 4 or 5 deflections on top of that have turned into steals. And I think that's been really great. Even in patches, you've seen the 4 and 5 men in Froling and Griffin getting up and denying the ball and making life really difficult for Adelaide, and I think that's what they really need to do heading into this third quarter, being more active defensively, pushing the ball out of the plays that they want it to be, and more of that from Kelsey Griffin and Britt Sykes.
The Lightning shooting 55% from the field as a team. We'll get a look at the stats in a moment, but it's been the play of Steph Talbot once again, of course, last season's MVP. She's been unreal. 13 points, 5 dimes, 5 rebounds.
Yeah, look, like I said before, she's I'm calling it for a triple-double. She's playing out of her skin today. Actually, no, this is how Steph Talbot usually plays, so nothing that we shouldn't expect from her, and she's just finding a way to keep her team all on the same page, and everyone's running with her, everyone's getting on the O glass, and it just seems like they're shooting the lights out tonight, at the lights.
They certainly are. The Lightning here leading 43 to the UC Capitals 35. Stick around, second half coming up in 10 minutes time. Looks to be a really exciting finish. Catch you then. Welcome back to Adelaide and the Lights Community and Sports Centre. Liam Ellison here alongside Annalie Maley. It's the Lightning leading the way in this one by 8 points. Steph Talbot, our game's leading scorer, shooting the Spalding at a 62% clip. And of course, Spalding believe everyone should have the opportunity to play basketball. Grab yourself a ball and get started today at spalding.com.au. Of course, they are the official ball partner of the WNBL. Annalie, it's been a fun one so far. Lightning just in control at the moment.
Yeah, look, they came out and gave everything that they've been missing in the last couple games. It's really good to see them up in that press, and I think it's really made a change to the way that the Canberra Capitals have had to operate within their offense. So I think that if we can see them kind of keep up with that pressure, keep pushing the Caps into things that they don't want to do, and keep running the ball, you know, on the back of Talbot. She's just been brilliant. Her ability to push the ball and find her teammates open, and the ball's going inside, outside. They're using their mismatches great, and I think that if they continue to do that, they'll walk away with a win. But on the other side of that, the Capitals had some really great purple patches where they were able to run the ball off some great steals from Kelly Wilson and some really tough finishes from Kelsey Griffin. I think we need to see a little bit more from Alex Bunton and Britt Sykes this half. But definitely they are so capable of bringing back an 8-point deficit in under a minute. So, yeah, we're looking for a really exciting half of basketball, and well, it's going to be anyone's game. So we'll see how this one unfolds.
Let's see what Chris Lucas and his Lightning have got in store for us this second half. The Capitals managed a 20-point second quarter. Let's see if they can continue that momentum behind Kelsey Griffin's team-leading 9 points. She's been great as well.
Yeah, hasn't she just? And it's off the vision of those brilliant guard trio there. I mean, Britt Smart has come up with some awesome plays as well. And, you know, let's find her on some open three balls and watch her do what she does.
Here we go. 2 top 4 teams here. Round 15, last round of the season. Big game in store. Wilson to start us off for Canberra. Over to Smart.
Smart to Sykes. Sykes screamed by Froling. Making something happen. Somehow, Canberra come up with it. Great hustle play by Froling. That's what she does.
So Smart, another opportunity for the Capitals. Griffin working inside.
Another offensive rebound. Oh, just stripped away. Great hustle there. Too good by Steph Talbot, finding the streaming Lana Smith. Just a bit too much sauce on that pass there.
Just running out of real estate that time. So Wilson and Williams. Dry smile from Kiana Williams as Froling provides the screen.
Making nothing easy for Wilson. Williams just wearing her like a glove here.
Over to Smart on the wing. Werung defending her. Smart around the Griffin screen. Baseline J, no good.
Talbot, another rebound. Kicking it ahead to Williams. Streams to the bucket. Oh, Alana Smith with the O-board though. Good follow-up by Smith there. You know, a lot of people would have just stopped playing there, assuming that Williams was going to get that easy layup, but Smith followed up anyway, rewarded herself with a bucket.
Back out to a double-digit ball game here. Lightning with the first bucket of the third. Sykes, mid-range J is off.
Lana Smith tips it in, and she's off to the races. Look how hard she runs the floor.
Sykes try to come up with a steal there. Stays with Adelaide. Williams to inbound. Into Shook.
Pressured by Froling. Smith driving down the lane. Pull-up jumper. Rebounded by Griffin. Kelly Wilson calls a play for her troops.
So Wilson. The other way for Canberra. Here's Griffin. She had a great first half. Tries to whip it baseline to Smart. Last touch by Shook.
Good defensive rotation there by Adelaide. They had a good split line help, and then another rotation there for Shook just to tip it out of bounds. Ball goes back to Canberra though. 10 on the shot clock.
Wilson kicks it out to Sykes, who just reaches out and stops a backcourt violation.
Sykes attacking the basket. Pass out to Wilson. She can't drain it here. Adelaide on the run. Smith's pulling down another board. Talbot into Shook. Shook using that size. Just missing that one. Great defense there by Froling.
So Wilson pushing the issue. She's got Talbot out of her, has to back it out. Looking for some assistance, finds Brittany Smart, cutting to the hoop. Reverse lay-in, no good. So Smith now working on Alicia Froling, and the elbow J, not that time.
Canberra looks to slow it up here, calling a play. Sykes, screened by Smart. She pulls it out, goes again. Little pass into Froling. She gets her own rebound. Tipped by Talbot, and she's on the run. Streaming down the court. Kelly Wilson gets her hands in it.
Good defense from the Capitals. Now Wilson the other way, blocked by Smith. But Wilson comes up with it.
Gets her own rebound. That's a veteran play there by Wilson. Great block there by Smith.
So Griffin long two. Follows her own miss and gets tangled up with Smith.
Both went pretty hard to the ground there.
So substitutions on the floor.
Look at that block. That's a gutsy play for Wilson to shoot over the outstretched hand to Smith.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't do that.
Just got her fingertips on it that time, Alana Smith.
She dove on the ball pretty hard just then. Nice to see that she's okay. See Williams calling a play here for Adelaide. Werung checks back in.
Here's Smart and Werung. Over to Talbot, maybe the player of the first half, and Griffin deflection.
Smart there by Griffin, just slicing a hand through the lane. Ball stays with Adelaide though.
So 8 seconds to work with on the stadium shot clock.
Williams to pass it in here. Williams.
Into Smith.
Smith out to Shook. She shoots for three. Just a bit short on that occasion. Wilson pulls down a board. Sykes attacking the basket. Great defense there. Better. Oh, board. Just missing that one. With authority, Kylie Shook pulls that one down.
Griffin did so well to crash the glass, just couldn't convert on that occasion. Now Smith stepping back, a little strong. Shook's there with front position. She backs it out to Smith. Space to fire, and she converts.
That score there is off the back of Kylie Shook. Just hard work there to get the extra possession, get Smith that extra shot. Smith finished beautifully. Into Bunton. Great little gimme. Better defense there by Kylie Shook. As Griffin pulls down the O-board. Out for a three from Smart. She can't hit. Shook pulls down. Another rebound.
Canberra still searching for their first bucket of the third period. Wilson goes under the screen and she makes her pay.
That is a tough one there. Canberra would be feeling that. That's a great three by Kiana Williams. Defender just went under the screen there, left her two open. Wilson there, you can't give her that much space. She's been shooting the three so well. The Adelaide crowd love it. It's good to see.
Chance for a chat if you're Paul Goris, and the Capitals are yet to score here in the third quarter. 7-0 start for the Lightning, and pretty encouraging signs for the home side.
I think Paul Goris would be asking for more of that energy that they brought in the second quarter. Again, a 15-point deficit for a team like the Canberra Capitals is nothing, and credit to Adelaide for being able to push it out. But Capitals have the ability to really push that lead down, and you see he's made some substitutions there. Brought Dupaya in for some quick hitting points, as well as Jade Melbourne. So hopefully Canberra can get some offense going, push the ball, hit some threes. But Adelaide, wow, they're playing amazing at the moment.
They certainly are, and held the Capitals to just 13 of 50 from the field, 26% shooting.
Take a look at the next time that Canberra get the ball, how much pressure is on every single player on the court. Kiana Williams has been wearing Kelly Wilson like a glove, and then on top of that you have players like Talbot denying the reversal pass. You have Smith denying that reversal pass. You even have Shook up in the lanes denying. So it's been really hard for the Caps to get into everything because every one of the Adelaide players just has their hands everywhere, making it really difficult for the UC Caps.
Here we go. Let's see if that's on display right here. Brittany Sykes and Talbot to start us off. Whittle switches onto her. Tapia cutting to the hoop. Chelsea Brooks right there, and looks like she's copped an inadvertent whack to the nose. Personal assessed on Talbot. Just the first personal for her.
With how hard she's playing, it's hard to believe that one. See Sykes here trying to make something happen. Out to Tupea, back to Sykes. She goes to work here, rising above Smith. Can't get that one to go. Smith pulling down that board with authority.
Strong rebound from Alana Smith. Here's Talbot pushing the issue.
Way. Oh.
Just falling out. Whittle there on the
offensive glass there from Whittle, putting that one back in. Not one, but 2 second efforts there from the Adelaide team. Chelsea Brooke, Marina Whittle, just too strong. Sykes comes down the other end.
And the Lightning's unanswered start to this quarter continues. Smart. Talbot defending her. Over to Bunton off the pine, and Smart can fire for 3. Brooke does well.
Whittle. Moving the ball around. Getting it to Brooke. Defended closely. Talbot. Smith for 3. She can't convert, but Chelsea Brooks streaming in for an offensive rebound. Tip to Whittle.
Smart stuff from Talbot to tip it to her teammate. Here's Alana Smith. Count the bucket.
And 1. That was a great take from Smith there, staying aggressive, staying with the play, using her size and athleticism here. Look at her streaming to the bucket there. Jade Melbourne's feet still moving, going to be assessed with a foul as Smith heads to the line for an extra.
Lightning just look like they're playing instinctual basketball, if you like, at the moment.
Yeah, it really does. It just kind of looks like it's flowing. It doesn't really stick in anyone's hands for too long.
So Sykes with the board, trying to make something happen for her team. They've won 8 of the last 9 games, the Capitals. Real test for them here in the third quarter.
I think that's more of what we need to see. Brittany Sykes needs to attack the basket more. She can get past almost anyone in the league, so having her being aggressive, doing what we saw more of in the second quarter when she does aggressively drive the basketball and makes the other defenders turn their head and ends up in a score for the Capitals. But hopefully they can end their unanswered point scoring streak here. They enter it in.
Into Bunton.
To Sykes. Sykes screened by Bunton. Attacking the basket. Sykes for the layup. But better defense and a tech foul. That hurts for the Canberra Capitals. I think just out of some frustration there. But Sykes just wanted the foul.
Frustration showing. Paul Goris not thrilled either.
It was good defense there from Adelaide. They just all jumped hands straight up. It's a tough call.
So we'll see who is the recipient of the technical free throw, but the Lightning a chance to make it a 20-point ball game.
Steph Talbot, just so reliable, doing Steph Talbot things.
So up to 14 now, Talbot, and the Lightning in control here. 6.5 minutes, the Capitals have been scoreless as Talbot takes a break.
And this is what we want to see from Adelaide. It's getting some rotations through.
Abby Werron back out there as well.
It's Jade Melbourne looking to get up on the ball a little bit.
Taylor Ortlup as well off the pine for the Lightning into Smith. She's got Bunton defending her, tries to reward Whittle. She's got to opt it out to Ortlup. Turnover.
Still there, good hands in by Swain. Ends up with Sykes. She looks to set something up here for the Caps.
Sykes runs into Chelsea Brook and she'll get the foul call.
I think maybe Brooks' feet were just moving a little bit there. That's a good take there by Britt Sykes, as we see. I think it might have just been the side of her leg, but that's the aggression that we need from not just Britt Sykes, but the rest of the Capitals players. So it's actually an out of bounds foul, not a shooting foul. So Caps will get the ball here. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Out to Tupea.
Now Talia Tupea. Here's Sykes, letting the time wind down. 5 seconds to work with. Smith doing her best. And again, the drought continues. Whittle does well.
Whittle with a strong defensive rebound. And you have Werung here. Good screen by Brook, reversing the ball. Ortlip screened by Smith. There's a foul call there.
So Swain with the personal, continuing to get strong minutes after 8 points in the second quarter.
I think that's a good foul there by Swain, though. You know, forcing Ortlip into doing something a little bit different. It's a foul that they'd be willing to give with, you know, a 20-point deficit. Paul Goris would be wanting his troops to kind of rally and get up and in on defense. So you've got to be happy with that one. A good foul if there ever is one in a basketball game.
Certainly. Here's Shook.
It's a mismatch inside.
See if they can reward it.
Good defense there by Cabillo.
Sees it off, so Werung tries to hand it in to Shook, and again Cabillo getting a hand in. So the Capitals,
steal.
Melbourne the other way, pushing it on Brook, and there it is.
Oh, there you go. Jade Melbourne, exactly what the Capitals need at this point in time. That play came off the back of some great defense from Abby Cabillo. Defending a bigger player, but Jade Melbourne just brilliantly pushing the ball down the other end. Chelsea Brook, Bunting gets a tip on it. And that ball is gonna go with
the Capitals by the looks, unless they have a reversal here.
No, that ball's gonna stay with Adelaide there.
So the defense over the last few possessions looking better from the Capitals.
Good defensive tips there by Bunton. That stuff's not statted. It's Whittle with the ball, guarded by Sykes. Tipped by Swain. Another great defensive possession here by the Caps.
Did well. Here's Melbourne. Backs it out to Sykes.
She calls a horn set here, trying to get something moving.
Bunton, hand off to Sykes. And tried to hand it back to her big, but Shook was there. Cabillo keeps it in. Swain, just.
Three.
Gotta go, Shanice Swain, not that time.
Had to get that one up. She did good to get it up. Gets back to Adelaide ball.
Just over 60 seconds remaining in the third. Lightning have done everything right here in the third quarter.
Sykes gets a tip to it, but it'll stay with Adelaide. 13 seconds left on the shot clock here. Werung.
Inbounds to Shook. Now she'll fire from the top, a little strong, and Swain skying for the board. Here's Brook. Ortlip now for Adelaide. And Sykes rips it out of her defender's hands, and that'll be a foul call. On Whittle, in fact, for Adelaide.
She's a bit frustrated there. I think a lot of hands in.
And there was that final reach that she looks to be assessed with.
I think maybe it was the reach before the bump from Sykes.
So here's Cabillo.
Abby Cabillo has done well defensively, really changed the pace of the game here for Canberra. So Sykes coming down the other end. She'll put up a jump shot. Fade away. Just didn't have the space to land. That's going to be a foul every day. We saw this in the game yesterday between Perth and Sydney. Even when there's not much contact on the shot, if there's no space to land, that's going to be an automatic foul. Sykes heads to the line to convert to.
So tough quarter for her team. Looking to keep them in it going into the last. First free throw off for Sykes. 0 of 2, so another missed opportunity for Canberra. Now Whittle pushing it on the fast break, mishandles, so Melbourne the other way.
Melbourne ends up with it, pushes it down the floor, fouled by Talbot. She looks a little worse for wear, but that's a great push there by Jade Melbourne. That's what she does. Got her hands in on it defensively and just went downhill, and you know, that's a great take by the youngster in Jade Melbourne, and that's the energy that she brings to the Canberra team. Good to see in the last couple possessions, Canberra capitalise off some of those defensive, really great defensive possessions. Jade Melbourne sinks her first one.
So
and
back
a second.
to a 16-point ball game. Here we go, Abby Werrung. Cabillo giving her no space. Shook.
Guarded by Bunton.
Hands it off to Werrung. Now we're single digits in the shot clock. Whittle stepping through. Floater goes up and rattles out. Follows her own miss, and Whittle, persistence rewarded.
Whittle with the offensive rebound off a great take against Sykes. Just kept hustling. Put in the 2.
So here we go. Shot clock's off. Brittany Sykes trying to make something happen for her team. Rewards Bunton. No, that'll do it. So Talbot will dribble it out to end the third. The Lightning 57.
She put that one in. That's the type of game Steph Talbot's having.
Yeah, she's done it all so far. They lead here 57 to the Capitals 39. Stick around. Fourth quarter coming up very, very soon. Welcome back to Adelaide. It is the hometown Lightning getting the job done here so far through 3 quarters. Liam Ellison here alongside Annalie Maley. And of course, we saw some pictures from the FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup in the break. And how exciting is that? FIBA's flagship competition, the Women's Basketball World Cup, is heading to Australia in September. September 22nd to October the 1st. Over 10 action-packed days at Sydney Olympic Park. 12 teams will battle it out for the world title. Sign up for first access to tickets at womensworldcup.basketball. A low-scoring third period there for the Capitals. Annalie, just 4 points in the period. Really had their struggles.
Yeah, I think towards the end of that third quarter, we saw a little bit more defensive pressure there, and they were able to convert and draw some more free throws and get to the foul line. But see here, Adelaide's just been dominant in this the second half of this game. Talbot here taking on Griffin. Oh, denied by Kelsey Griffin. That's great defense there by Griffin. So the ball stays with Adelaide though. They have 8 seconds left on the shot clock here.
Second block of the game for Griffin right here.
Big denial there. Talbot into Shook. Shook to Talbot. Talbot has to shoot it. Tipped in. On the buzzer. Oh, what a great fadeaway shot. I think Smith was a bit shocked that that one went in, but good. That was a good second effort there by Abby Werrung. Never say die there, and just tips it in to Smith. As Swain, God, she's having a great game today. The youngster.
Into double digits now, 10 points.
That was a tough finish over the outstretched arm of Alana Smith. She just assessed for the foul there. Bit too handsy. Smith just rips the ball through.
trying to D Smith up, trying to make things happen for this Canberra team.
Bit too much on the hand side of that one for Swain, but great takedown the other end.
So into Smith, Melbourne's right there, and another foul on the Capitals.
Just got to be careful here. We don't want to be sending them to the foul line with every foul. But I guess that's the aggression that Paul Goris would be looking for. Those are the fouls you're going to live with. It's Cabillo. Where's Williams like a glove? Williams, fakes everyone out. She got past so many players in that one possession. I think maybe every single Caps player she got out with a fake. It's Cabillo here attacking the basket. And Kylie Shook.
Denied by Kylie Shook.
Just volleyball spiked that one right out of Cabillo's hands. She said you might get past one defender, but definitely not two.
Here's Griffin, inbounds to Bunton. 5 blocks as a team for the Lightning. Here's Swain spinning out of trouble, hands it off to Bunton.
Oh, she can't get that one to drop, but that's a great attack from Swain. Smith here to Werung. Werung pressured by Melbourne. Smith to the basket. She takes it up. Shook with a strong offensive board, but Griffin ends up with it.
So Cabillo the other way for Canberra. Griffin, plenty of space at the top. Here's Swain. Goes for a third triple, but Melbourne on the O-glass. Hands it back inside to Bunton. Swain rejected by Smith.
Talbot ending up with the ball here. Talbot screened by Shook. Out to Werung. To Williams. Williams attacks.
Melbourne hits the deck and follows it up.
Oh, Jade Melbourne. That is some brilliant defense. I thought she had fallen over. She was out of the play and somehow still ended up with the ball going her way. Great defense there by Jade Melbourne.
So Cabillo and the Capitals now. Paul Goris turning to some of his bench unit here in the fourth quarter. And they've been bringing the heat. Why not? Here's Melbourne spinning.
Melbourne just tripped up a little bit there. Paul stays with Adelaide though. That's a good attack. That's what we'd be looking for from Canberra.
Showing that aggression. Jade Melbourne, 20 points in the last outing against Perth as Shanice Swain takes a break.
Watch the defensive pressure here by Cabillo. She's just all over it.
Once she crosses that half-court line.
Yeah.
Hoping for a whistle on that occasion. Finds cutting to the hoop. Talbot and Smith cleans it up.
Can we count that as an assist? Does that count?
Accidental assist, maybe. We'll ask the stats guy. Here's Cabillo.
Screen by Bunton. Skip pass to Griffin. Rims out. Good rebound there by Smith. She's looking to push the ball. Gets past Cabillo.
She's Bunton ahead of her. Mid-range J for Smith and Talbot on the O-glass. Not that time.
Kelly Wilson back in the game here.
Wilson and Williams, the two guards. Here's Melbourne. Tries to reward Griffin and just a miscommunication on that occasion.
It was a no-look pass, and I think Kelsey Griffin saw the no-look and looked away. She was like, she's not looking at me, but with Jade Melbourne, she's such a great passer, you have to expect that ball.
Showing some flair in this fourth quarter, Jade Melbourne.
The no-look that fakes out your own teammates. That'll get you that one.
Certainly will. Here's Brooke. Sam Simons as well, back out there for Adelaide, trying to draw the foul on Wilson, and she does.
It's a height mismatch there. It was a good take. Way to spot up there by Sam Simons. She just found herself with a smaller defender, got right to the basket, good little drop step, and just caught the hands of Kelly Wilson a little bit.
So 6-2 start to this fourth period for the Lightning. Still held the Capitals to just 6 points in the second half. Now 14 minutes into this one.
Yeah, and the Lightning bench has been rotating in really well too. Like Brooke, Whittle, Simons, they've all been really effective in the impact that they've had. Definitely changed the way that the game has been played every time a sub's been made.
Brittany Smart whips it over to Melbourne, and Williams is in there with a deflection.
All Adelaide just keeping Canberra on their toes. They've just been able to get a hand to everything. It just looks so hard for the Canberra players to get into an offense because every player has been guarded so heavily.
24 points the margin here. Timeout on the floor. Who would have thought the Lightning losers of their last 3 in a row? The Capitals have really not put a foot wrong for maybe 2 months now, Annalie, and here we are, the Lightning on their home floor, putting together a performance they can maybe really take into the finals and boost them through the finish.
I definitely think so. I think that it's definitely hard when you lose a couple in a row, but it looks like they've taken those losses and gone, all right, well, what do we need to change? And they've taken the little things out of their energy, and it looks like they've put together the style that they were playing before that losing streak. They were like, let's get back to what we were doing well, and we see it here in tonight's game. They're just all over it. They're playing the style of basketball that, you know, they're famous for. Chris Lucas's groups have always been famous for that run and gun, the defensive pressure, and they've been all over it tonight, and they're rewarding themselves here with a brilliant offensive and defensive performance. You know, we talked about the Canberra's ability to turn their defense into offense, and it seems that Adelaide's taken a note out of their book and said, hey, what you can do, we can do better.
Have they ever? They've brought the heat. Lana Smith leading the way in the scoring column so far tonight, 19 points. Here she is defending Smart. Talbot right there as well. Hands it off to Wilson, who gets Talbot in the air. Play on, and she makes the bucket anyway.
Veteran play there. She fakes, she fakes, she fakes again, and lucky not to get a foul there, Talbot was.
Finally, she gets her to jump. Here's Talbot, and foul call on Smart.
That mismatch there automatically drew in another Canberra player. So whether that was going to be a foul or it was going to be a 2-on-1 when she kicks it out, that's what you need from Adelaide. They've got mismatches in every position, and it just forces Canberra to collapse inside. Williams here, out to Simons. Back to Williams. Screen by Brooke. Attacking the basket here. Rise up. Chelsea Brooke with a hand, but no. Smart comes away with it. She kicks it ahead to Wilson. Wilson looking for someone streaming. Wilson, Frolling. Back to Wilson. To Smart. 3 here from Smart, and she can convert. If there's anything that Britt Smart can do, it is shoot that 3 ball.
Third triple of the game for Brittany Smart, up to 9.
Williams here. Jade Melbourne denying Sam Simons the ball heavily. Forces it to go the other way.
Talbot and Griffin. Here's Simons. Nearly got her shot away. Talbot closing out hard. We'll hit back to his Talbot at the top. Excuse me, she makes it rain.
Of course she does. And that's what she's been doing all night. Both ends of the floor can convert. It's Britt Smart for another. Alicia Frolling almost had the O board, but just tapped it out of play there. Steph Talbot. She has been shooting the lights out tonight. Impressive performance by her. 17 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. I said she was on triple-double watch tonight. She's definitely going to get that double-double. But she's just been so effective there. Her ability to find other people.
Assists have slowed down at the half. Had 5 at half-time, of course. The league leader this season with 6 a game for Steph Talbot.
I'm going to say some of her missed shots ended up being assists for Alana Smith there. It'll be a triple-double in my eyes.
Yeah. She's been unreal nonetheless. Melbourne working on Werrung. What a dish. Down to Frolling. And Smith jumping in with the defense.
Partially blocked there by Smith too. She was just came in with such authority. And her ability to get defensive rebounds and then push the ball down the other end, almost like a point guard. Whittle here, as she finishes over Griffin.
Tough finish for Whittle.
Whittle's up to 10 points now.
Great
She's
game
been
off the bench for her.
Great off the bench. So valuable for Adelaide.
Here's Wilson, wide open from the top, and rebound for Simon. So that Lightning have really dominated the rebounding column tonight. 51-32 now in favour of Adelaide.
I will say this in every game. It will be so rare to find a team that wins a game that doesn't win the rebound count. Because when you look at rebound counts, it's extra possessions for the team, and extra possessions mean extra scores. You look here, you see Whittle with a great cut to the basket. Tough finish over Griffin, but in terms of possessions, the team with the most amount of possessions will often win the game. And Adelaide's just done a brilliant job on the rebounds here tonight, and it's definitely showed.
Sounds like an insight to your game, Annalie.
Yeah.
16 a game, of course, leading the league. Don't want to embarrass you.
Oh, no. That's a really important part of every basketball game, but definitely something that I pride myself on.
Absolutely. 15 offensive as well for the Capitals tonight, but they just haven't got the job done on the defensive glass.
Yeah, they've just missed a couple gimmies on the putbacks too. They've done the hard work and not able to convert, but you see here, Alicia Frolling on the line. Great pass there from Jade Melbourne as she went downhill, just found Frolling. Let's see if she can convert with a second.
So no good on the second. Still just the 11 points in the second half. And I only harp on that because this must be close to the lowest score of the season for the ladder-leading Capitals.
Adelaide's done a brilliant job. Just they've seemed to be on every level, just all over the Capitals players. As the ball here will stay with Adelaide. Yep, will stay with Adelaide.
Yeah, defense has been stellar from the Lightning tonight.
It's 14 on the shot clock here. See birthday girl back on the court in Alabadish. Sam Simons. Jump shot is good. And she can shoot. The Adelaide bench putting on display what they have to offer here. It's Abby Cabillo pushing the ball down the other end. Wilson here attacking. Brooke. Hook shot, no good. Good defensive rebound there by Chelsea Brooke.
So now Brooke. Adelaide well in control here at the Lights Community and Sports Centre. Whittle and travel call.
Good D there from Frolling.
So good game off the bench for Whittle, 10.6 boards as she takes a break. Cabillo with the point guard position at the moment for Canberra. Frolling with the screen and finds her way through Cabillo.
She's so quick and she can finish over defenders much bigger than she is. She's just so talented. Her ability to kind of get up on the ball changes the game. Chelsea Brooke for three. Everyone from Adelaide is getting in the action.
Shanice Swain just left her man momentarily and Brooke took advantage.
Oh, Brooke is a brilliant three-point shooter. You can't leave her that wide open. Just a little bit of space and time as Shanice Swain driving, floater, Frolling with the rebound. She tries to get it out, gets out to Smart. She puts up a three. Kelly Wilson with an offensive rebound, and she makes it count.
Goes herself in the end. Kelly Wilson gets it to go for the Caps. So a few subs now. Taylor Brazel out there for the first time for Adelaide.
Brooke Basham as well, coming in for her first minutes of the game.
Bench has been good today for Canberra, I feel.
Yeah, both teams have really stepped up from the bench. It's nice to see them getting some more minutes. I think very well earned, well deserved. See Brooke Basham here coming off the screen. Alabadish to Brazel to Ortlup. Ortlup kicks it out to Basham. Basham will take it. Ortlup has to get it up. And she does!
There it is.
Taylor Ortlup. She is just feeding off everybody else and making that shot count with a beautiful stroke there from Taylor Ortlup.
So Swain just keeps it in. Here's Wilson again, playing to the final buzzer. Frolling fouled.
You have to. I think it's a testament to both these teams being in final contention that they are continuing to play hard till the end of the game. That's the type of teams both of them are. None of them will roll over. That you won't see any off play until that buzzer goes off, and that's the type of teams both of these are.
It's the way it's got to be. Is Cabillo into Wilson. Now Smart going for another triple, not that time.
Frolling with another offensive rebound.
Starting to rack them up for the Capitals, the offensive rebounding numbers. Here's Cabillo. Mid-range J is off.
Basham ends up with the ball here. Pressured by Smart. Back to Basham.
So Brooke Basham driving on Froling out to Simons. Wide open from the corner.
Sam Simons. God, they look like they're just having so much fun out there. You know, like, that's a great drive there from Basham. She probably had a layup there, but, you know, there was an even more open shot. And they're just playing so well together as a team. As you see here, Kelly Wilson out to Swain. She shakes and bakes. Can't convert on that one, but, God, they just look like they're having so much fun out there, Adelaide. And definitely credit to Canberra. They've continued to play hard through the end of this quarter. You've seen the talent of some of their young players in Swain and Cabillo, and even Britt Smart's out there still playing hard. Same with Kelly Wilson. Look, it's the end of the game, and she's still out pressuring the ball.
Yeah.
As she gets a steal. I predicted that one.
Wilson misses on the first. Cabillo will clean it up, and no, another miss. So,
and
Froling
with another offensive rebound. They just keep playing hard till the end.
So they'll get one last look at it here, the Capitals. Smart whips it out, so that will do it. The Adelaide Lightning, what a performance on their home deck. 31-point winners, if you don't mind, over the ladder-leading UC Capitals. What a performance, suddenly, Maylee.
You would have to say that this is the lowest scoring game for the Capitals all year. I think that, obviously, as you can see in this last quarter, the Lightning just had a field day offensively, but that all came from their defensive effort. They managed to keep Canberra to a really low score. They're a really high offensive firepower team, and the Lightning just played brilliantly. Every single person stepped up, from starting five to bench players. Everyone contributed to that game, and it was a brilliant brand of basketball to watch. And I think keeping this momentum going into finals, that's exactly what they need. You know, that both of these teams, you know, I think could be in that grand final game, and it's just such an important time in the year to pick up momentum and play the type of basketball that the Lightning just played. Yeah,
of course, breaks a 3-game losing streak as well for the Lightning. So what a way to do it. It was, in fact, the Capitals' lowest score of the year by 12 points. 62 was their previous low, so they've smashed it out of the park, the Lightning. What a performance from them, and got the job done as well, shooting the ball from deep, 10 of 18 from 3. Really, everything was falling. Yeah, it really was. And you'd have how many players in double digits there for the Lightning? 4 players for Adelaide. And then multiple bench points. Like, almost everyone off the bench ended up scoring, and that's a trademark of, you know, a team that plays together and for each other. And you look how hype everyone was on the bench. Everyone was getting up and getting around each other, all smiles after the game. Credit to Canberra, though. They did continue to play hard, and they played their brand of basketball, which was never say die and don't give up till the end of the game. And it still managed to be a fun game of basketball to watch, as Canberra just battled right till the very end. But it was Adelaide that triumphed with the win at the Lights this evening. Certainly did. They've got one more matchup coming up as we have a look at the highlights right now against the Southside Flyers. So that'll be their last game of the season. Chance to potentially close. They're now 10-6, trying to close on the Boomers, who are 11-5 in third. Yeah, you see here some of the highlights from the game. Britt Smart shooting the ball the way she always does with such great form. Britt Sykes had a bit of a quiet one, but she still managed to find her teammates and get some hands in defensively. But at the end of the day, it was all Adelaide. Some great plays there. Kelsey Griffin was dominant in the first half, but this woman right here, Kiana Williams, shooting the ball, wheeling and dealing. Kylie Shook using her size, inside-outside game. They really got the ball in, and it opened up their 3-ball. Jade Melbourne had some awesome sparks off the bench. Her ability to take the ball in an offensive transition was really nice. And the second half was all Lana Smith. She was a bit quiet in that first half with a bit of foul trouble, but you see here, Lana Smith was just brilliant in that second half of play. As was the bench for Adelaide. You see every single one almost scored, and it was a nice brand of basketball to watch. Bench points led by Marina Whittle today, 10 points and 6 rebounds. It was Alana Smith who led the way in the scoring column. 19 points, 9 boards. Talbot as well stuffed the stat sheet. 17, 9 boards and 5 assists. For the Capitals, they had just one player in double digits. Shanice Swain, the youngster. Good moment for her. She had 8 points in the second quarter. Kelsey Griffin was good, as we spoke about, with 9 and 6, but really a night to forget for the Capitals. We'll have a look at the stats on your screen in a moment here. The Capitals shooting just 24% from the field. Meanwhile, it was a different story for Adelaide. We'll have a look right now. 49% from the field for them, so really a dominant display in the end. And the rebounding column, you spoke about the importance there.
Yeah.
Adelaide dominated there too.
Look at the 3 stats at the bottom. You have the rebounds, turnovers, and assists. So they out-rebounded the team, and their defensive pressure was so good that they've forced them into 9 turnovers there. But really, look at that assist column, 24-7. That's unreal. Like,
yeah.
They were just moving the ball so well. It just felt like it was flowing through the hands of Adelaide, and everyone was trigger happy, and the ball was flowing and it was falling, and playing with no worries. And, you know, to play with that sort of confidence going into finals, like, super important. But as I said, the most important stat for me was the rebounds. I think more possessions, more scores, more assists, all comes from the hustle game.
Certainly. So the Adelaide Lightning, an emphatic victory on their home floor. 31-point leaders over the UC Capitals. It's been Adelaide 81, UC Capitals 50. Liam Ellison here alongside Annalie Maley. Thank you very much for joining us. Stick around. We'll be back tomorrow night with another big night of WNBL hoops. Catch you then.